Driving Gloves. We're a combination of gearheads. John, the instigator, Derek, the conservative, Will, the builder, Sean, the racer, and maybe a guest. Invite you to listen while we sit down, have a drink, and discuss cars. Learn more and subscribe to the podcast at No Driving Gloves. Time now for the ride. Hey, it's No Driving Gloves. I hope everybody liked our new show intro. We're going to try out some things, a couple new changes. Let me know what you think of it. Social medias, nodrivinggloves.com. We got everybody with us tonight. It's all four of us, the cast of characters. Everybody want to say hi?
What's up?
Hey.
Hey. You see, everybody says hi. We're trying to go off a little script tonight, too. This is going to be one of these quick turn episodes that we've been doing recently. And we reached out directly to Will and said, Will, you got to talk to us. SEMA's canceled. And we all knew this was coming, I think, right?
Yeah, I've been saying it was, as soon as I knew it was coming, and then CES happened, and then it had to.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, they made that real long video about how it was going to go down and the precautions they were going to take. And I'll be honest with you, I booked my rooms right after they released that video. I was like, okay.
Oh, my God.
I did, because I was like, they've spent a lot of time making this video. They spent a lot of time trying to make this happen. So, boom, I booked it. And I didn't book flights or anything, but I did book my hotel or condo, whatever. But, I mean, I can cancel it, not a big deal. But I figured after that, they put a lot of time and effort into making it happen. So I got 3 cars that are supposed to debut there, 3 new cars. And so I was hopeful that it was going to happen. But anyway, now I've got 3 unhappy customers.
Well, you got to figure out the new way of debuting them online. I guess online's the way to do it, or otherwise you're going to have absolutely perfect cars next fall. I think one of the things I saw on Facebook tonight is, hey, you've all got an extra year now, so we don't need any of these chicken beep welds everywhere.
No more Bluetooth drive shaft, stuff like
None of that.
Yep.
None of that.
Everything should run there next year. I was going with a friend this year. We actually made the hotel reservations, I think, on my birthday and right after Christmas, December or so. I texted him this afternoon and said, well, yes, SEMA really doesn't want me to go because every time I've said I'm going to go, I forget, blah, blah, blah. This year I've kind of been on top of it. I was even working with somebody to try to work on the media passes for No Driving Gloves, if we could do that. Guess it didn't happen. Does it disappoint? Were you, Derek or Sean, going to go?
I was trying. Where were you at, Derek?
I was waiting kind of to see what John was working with No Driving Gloves. And I mean, I want to go out there at some point. I mean, it looks like an awesome show. But from what I'm hearing, it sounds like it's just John's fault because he actually was going to go this year, so they canceled it.
We can blame it on me.
That is possible. We were actually, my company was talking to 3 different companies about being in their booth as a booth draw. So it's very upsetting because what we do sort of requires putting butts in the seats and in order to experience what we build. And I was really looking forward to it. It was going to be nowhere near the level of debut that Will has, but it was still going to be a debut of our first production chassis. So it's kind of annoying, but understandable at the same time.
I'll tell you another thing that's been annoying about it is, what time did they announce it?
Yeah, it was probably noon, 2 o'clock today, something like that.
My phone has not shut up. I'm still getting text about it right now.
You're just so important, Will. That's why.
So that's another annoying part of it. But anyway, we had a lot riding on this year. I mean, 3 fresh cars, 3 customers that's never been to SEMA that were really looking forward to it. Being in a booth I had never been in before this year. Actually, two booths I had never been in this year. I just hope that they honor it for next year. One of them already has.
Oh, the booth that you were supposed to be in already said, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I actually talked to him about it yesterday. I was like, what happens if they cancel SEMA? Are we still good for next year? And he was like, absolutely. So
That's got to make you feel good.
yeah. And yeah. So anyway, I don't know.
I mean,
It was three. Actually, it was three booths that I had never been in before.
It's all of us. Like John asked the question. So is anybody upset about it? And all of us are just like, yeah, we're upset. Yeah, we're upset about it. It's a great show. I haven't been in a couple of years. I was looking forward to getting back out there. And have you never been to SEMA, Derek?
No, I've never been.
Wow. Okay. Not a whole lot of brass era stuff in the modification side of things.
That's the problem, you know?
Yeah. Do we need to start brass era mods?
There's some hideous ones. There's some hideous ones out there.
I was going to say, you think that would go over at all? Or?
I do believe there is, correct me if I'm wrong, Will, there is a restoration hall or portion of SEMA that deals with more of the classic restoration stuff. I know it was introduced a few years ago, and maybe restoration is that evil word resto mod, but
it's very, 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 very slim. It's more geared towards Camaros and Firebirds and Chargers and Mustangs and stuff like that. Yeah, there's actually, there's kind of scattered in there with Hot Rod Alley there in Central Hall. So
I mean, there's probably some stuff in the SEMA show that you dig, Derek, but there's Apex might be a show that you'd really like. Apex is more of the you don't think? I thought
he would hate Apex.
Really? Okay.
He would hate it. If you're a buyer for advanced auto parts, you like Apex.
Kind of. But I mean there's some stuff over there that there's body equipment and all kinds of Apex is weird, man. But I was thinking maybe there'd be more for the brass era resto type stuff.
There's nothing at SEMA for brass era. Nothing. No.
There's hardly any brass era at anything anymore.
Right. And you use the term brass and you're like, what are you making out of brass? We 3D print titanium now. Why would you do that? You know? I mean,
what do you need? A radiator tank? What are you doing?
You're right. That's about it. And then all of them are painted black. So.
Exactly. Paint them black. And
do you want to put carbon fiber wheels on your brass era car?
It's carbon fiber wood spoke wheels.
Hey, it might be an idea of the future.
Was it Lexani? Yeah, Lexani. You'd be in there.
Hey, people. There have been. I actually know a guy that restored I think it was a early 20s. So it was brass era, but early car. They, instead of doing the wood spoke wheels, they actually made patterns of them and did them in cast aluminum.
I've seen that
to make them appear to be wood but be stronger.
I bet we could get you in Lexani's booth with some 30-inch carbon fiber wheels on a brass era car. I think we could make that happen.
I think if we do it right, I've got some ideas for some projects.
It would have to be like a Bentley or a Mercedes.
30-inch wheels were standard.
Or we could do a defender. Take the fenders off. Just put as big a wheel on it as you possibly can. Literally, it would be almost like Ferris wheels at each corner.
Oh yeah, that'd be easy on one of those cars. Nothing in the way.
Exactly.
Get the fenders off. Boom, done.
Yeah.
So
have we beat that in the ground?
I say, well, since we've now realized we're not going to go to SEMA and see all the new toys that cars have, something came up across the Facebook page this week, and I posted and I said we'd probably talk about it on Wednesday night when we record. And hey, we're here on Wednesday night. We're recording. What option is on a car right now that if we had our say should be standard equipment? I don't want to say legislated in or mandatory seat belts and airbags and or rear view cameras and things like that. But what option do you think every car should have, whether it be a driver's aid or that? It shouldn't be optional. It should just be standard across the board from Kia to Bentley.
I haven't looked at a new car in so long. I mean, a backup camera. They're probably all standard now. I don't know.
Actually, somebody said that on
now.
Facebook, and 2018 they across the board mandatory by law. Which goes back to when Honda and a couple of the other manufacturers were giving you a camera in their redesigned 2016 or 2017 vehicles, that's because they already knew they had to put the camera in, and it was easier to take the, I assume, promotional tax deduction on it.
Has Stellantis come out with any cool options yet? Just curious.
I'm not sure what Stellantis is up to. Somebody posted earlier today on some page some cross between a Ferrari F8 and some Alfa Romeo, like they had some weird jaunt one evening.
It was a 488 and a I can't remember which Alpha. It was a 488 and an Alpha front end. And actually, it was the GTA, the new GTA Alpha with the GTA wing on a 488. I didn't think it looked terrible.
I don't understand what they have to do with each other. They're each Italian, but that's about it.
That's about it. I thought it looked cool.
The one thing I think we need, and I cuss it every time it happens, is we should have our wipers on, lights on.
Yeah.
Anytime your windshield wipers come on, and to me, even washer, I don't care. So turn on the lights really quick for a washer. It turns on your headlights and your taillights. Most states have the law. You got to have the headlights on.
Mm-hmm.
We've got automatic rain sensing wipers. I don't care if we have automatic rain sensing wipers, but once those wipers start moving, you should have lights on all four corners of your car. People are too
say it
stupid to.
Yep. Say it. Stupid.
People are too stupid to do that.
That actually brings me to mine, John, because mine was about headlights as well. Because we got my wife, Christine, a new GMC Acadia 2020, brand new. So she'd have a good, nice vehicle, of course, with all the parenting, everything we're doing. I did not know it came with this, and I did not know they were doing this. Is just because I maybe haven't kept up with the new car world enough sometimes. It has this has been around for a long time, don't get me wrong, but
it works much better now.
It has it works way better now, the auto dimming headlights, where they switch from bright to dim when they detect cars coming. Now, that's an old technology. It's been around a while, but it's still an option, and it works much better these days. And again, people are stupid, and they don't turn their bright lights off. And that is one of the most dangerous things at night, especially if it's been raining, it's even worse. So I think tied to that, John, I'm going to jump onto yours and piggyback on it. I think the auto dimming sensors should be a, just standard feature that comes on the cars anymore.
I've got one that I think would be pretty awesome. I love it on my wife's Yukon, and we have it on our dually as well. And it's in the rear view mirror or side view mirror, and it's just a little light that tells you if somebody's in your blind spot. So blind spot detection. Honda's really got it figured out with the little cameras mounted in the
Honda ones drive me nuts.
Oh, the little camera. I haven't drove one, but
yeah, the little camera and the change of view, they drive me crazy. But I've had
just that little LED light in your side view mirror is pretty awesome. And like our Yukon, if you go to change and there's somebody there, it buzzes you on your left cheek if it's on the left side and buzzes you on your right butt cheek if it's on the right side.
What? I don't have that, but both my SHO and my Fusion, and I can't remember if my Edge Sport had the blind spot detection. Actually, I think it did. The auto dimming headlights was on my Edge Sport, my SHO, and on the Fusion. And I'll be honest, I love them. The dimming doesn't always work, and I really feel bad when I realize it. And the oncoming car is about 6 feet away from me, and I haven't dimmed my headlights. Sometimes I don't even realize I turned the brights on because the car actually does that itself. Blind spot detection seems to be 99.9% of the time. I still double check over my shoulder sometimes. My biggest problem is, for some reason, my ex-girlfriend and my fiance now and that, their cars don't have blind spot detection. And I find myself when I drive their cars or drove their cars, I'm driving along and I look at my mirror and I don't see an orange light and I make a lane change. A couple times there's been somebody there. you just get used to it, because instead of looking in the mirror, this goes back to putting technology in and taking away our ability to drive. Instead of looking in the mirror, I look for a light, just one of those things. And because I do half-ass glance back, that's what saved me from wrecking many a cars just because I'm just too used to my little orange lights in my mirrors. But they're wonderful. Though one technology that drives me nuts that we shouldn't have is the cross traffic alert for backup. It doesn't ever seem to work.
Boy, it scared the crap out of me the other day. The Yukon's got something pretty cool too, that if it senses brake light and your foot is on the gas, man, every light in that thing just starts flashing at you, and it vibrates the crap out of your butt. I mean, it's like rah, 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 rah.
The Fusion has that too, and it's got a dedicated LED light bar on the dashboard that as soon as it starts alerting and vibrating, the steering wheel trembles, and it's like a disco going on in there. Well, half the time I know what I'm doing, and what's the other stupid thing it has? Oh, the lane departure warning that every car dealer sells incorrectly.
I absolutely hate the lane departure. Not only the warning, but the Acadia has where it steers, it return steers if it detects you going. And I shut that off. It's got a button to shut it off in the Acadia, and I shut it off because, John, like you said, we've talked about it on the show before. I don't like a lot of these driver assist technologies because it's making people work to become worse drivers. It's taking away the ability to drive. I mean, we're working towards self-driving cars. That's evident. I mean, it's what's coming. I am the type of person that when a car does something, I react. So every time I'm in the Acadia and that lane departure return is on, I actually counter steer against it and cause more issues for my, I'm not getting myself in a wreck, but Christine's always looking at me going, "Why'd you do that?" And I'm like, "Because I left the stupid return on." So I shut it off so I don't constantly try to react to the steering wheel.
Yeah. If you don't turn the turn signal on, I mean, you can muscle through it and change lanes, but it sucks.
Natasha's Toyota does it too. It drives me insane. She loves it. It drives me nuts.
Now, see, you can turn it off in the Fusion, but you've got to do it every time. So I've just got it set to the lightest setting, so I can barely tell when it's changing lanes, and I might get a little bit of rumble. Of course, normally I do, what do I want to say, signal when I'm changing lanes, but the common exit ramp I take coming to the house, I always kind of apex it a little bit, and when I go over that solid white line on the left side of the car, start going to the shoulder, it reacts violently there.
I'll tell you something I really like. That's that adaptive cruise control where it'll, keep up with the speed to the person in front of you. And our Yukon don't have it, which I figured it would, but it didn't. But my mom and dad's Jeep Grand Cherokee does. And we were coming back from New Orleans, and I'm like, I'm going to see really how badass this is. And so I was following my sister, and I knew we were getting off the interstate, and I just followed her getting off the interstate. And I mean, it kept that distance perfectly. When she stopped, it stopped. But let me tell you, when somebody she turned left, man, that bitch took off. It's got the Hemi in it, man. It was gone. But it's kind of fun.
See, and I turn the adaptive cruise control off. I hate it because if I'm going down the freeway and I'm driving along and I got that, forget to turn it off, doing whatever, I'm talking or I'm doing something and I'm not watching the speedometer and that adaptive cruise control. I'm the type of person that goes, in a 70 mile an hour speed zone. I go somewhere between 77 and 79 mile an hour. That's where I set my cruise. And all of a sudden I look down, and because I've gotten behind somebody going 68, I'm going 68 for 10 miles. And I'm like, this is stupid. I hate this. Like, I don't like that where it adjusts to the car ahead of you, because then you don't feel that. No, I'm sorry. It's off every time I'm driving.
Because then you don't hit the car in front of you.
No, because if I'm coming up on the car in front of me too fast and I realize they're going slow, I get out in the other lane and I go around them like you're supposed to do.
Well, if you do that,
but you don't notice you're going slower for 10 miles.
I don't want my car to just adjust so I don't understand that the car is going slow.
You'd rather.
No, in other words,
is what you're saying.
No, I pay enough attention that I don't hit the car.
Oh, bull crap. Are you if you're paying enough attention,
you'd know you slowed down for 10
if you were
miles.
paying
Never been in an accident in my life.
if you were paying that much of attention, you would know to get over. And if you were paying that much of attention, you would feel the car slow down 10 miles an hour. Come on, Derek.
Never been in an accident in my life. So
Well, that's because it goes 68 miles an hour on the interstate.
yeah, when I
Behind
use
somebody.
the stupid, my truck doesn't have it. It's the stupid Acadia that has it.
And somehow we've moved into that what's stupid on our cars, and auto stop start. I don't care. There's enough oil. You might save 10 years oil down when we run out of
I
it.
agree.
Every car needs to stay running. I cannot, when the damn thing shuts off, when it does that, and we're three of us are in Alabama here. It shuts off, the fan slows down on the air conditioning and everything else. And then you sit there and you bake. I think I've got my car trained that it turns itself on after, a minute or something so that the air conditioning comes back. But just sit there in the baking sun with no air conditioning, etc., just because I'm stopped. Or when you need to make a panic move or a quick move and the car's turning off, and then all of a sudden you go to accelerate and then it's got to restart, and that, you lose a half a second. And that half a second reaction time can make the difference between
being able to pull out and getting hit. Absolutely. I can't stand.
Can you turn that off on yours, John?
Yeah, but you've got to do it every damn time.
Right, you have to do it every time. Yep.
And the funny thing is it's in the center console, and I've got, it's a Fusion, so I've got the knob shifter, so you turn the wheel, and then behind that is the parking brake, which is a pull-up lever. And then right behind that is the exact same looking pull-up lever that turns off the auto stop start. So it's so easy I'm always terrified that I'm going to pull the parking brake, forget which lever's which, and pull the parking brake instead of the auto stop start, which I'm assuming since it's electronic and I'm going 40 miles an hour, it probably wouldn't activate. But
well, I mean, you are getting old enough, John. You'd start doing the old man thing in your car, just getting a label maker and putting it in like bold letters what each one is.
We could do that for you.
Yeah, we can get you one of those floating compass balls that goes on the dash.
I think my car has that on the dashboard in the TFT display.
Yeah, but you want the old school analog. You don't want to trust that computer.
I think
you want analog. You don't want to trust the computer.
Will or John would be the person to make you that like in really big, like huge letters.
They got them.
Just so like it'd be like one of those giant remote controls.
They've got those big old compass and things like that they use on the Great American Race.
Perfect. I know what we're getting John for Christmas. Talking about adaptive cruise as much as we did, does anybody else like or despise adaptive brake assist? I actually think brake assist should be is brake assist hasn't been mandated across the board, has it yet, John?
I don't think so. No, I like pedal feel that's consistent every single stop. I kind of agree with you.
No. I meant the adaptive brake where literally the car will, if you have someone not paying attention to what's going on in front of them and something pulls out in front of you, or a dog runs out or a child runs out in front of you.
Oh, auto braking?
Yeah, auto braking. I've seen it really do miraculous things, but I can also see where it would cause someone to panic even
It's
worse.
all good till it starts messing up.
Well, yeah.
There's situations where it's great, but there's also situations that, I might choose to angle the car different and take the accident depending, on what's happening behind me. And the problem with also that automatic braking is on a Mercedes, for instance, it'll brake so damn hard and so damn quick and so damn late. The guy behind you is going to be in your back seat because unless he's got another Mercedes, he's not stopping that fast. Now, of course, the difference is the front of your car is not crushed, but instead of, both sides of your car being crushed or whatever. Now, that one's up in the air for me if I would want it or not want it. There's so many pluses or minuses to it. Backing up and auto braking, I can probably go with because just so much happens behind your car that even with cameras and that you don't see. I think Nissan offers that, if there's a tricycle or a dog or a kid or a cat or a mountain lion behind you, it'll stop all of a sudden.
The Alpha actually kept me from hitting the dog coming out of our neighborhood. And the dog literally, it came out from behind a bush that was like 2 feet from the road. There was no way in the world that I was going to get it. And it literally, I don't know, it was 10 or 15 feet in front of me. I was only going 10 miles an hour because I always slow down to go past that house anyway. But it really did. It worked. I mean, it worked, and I didn't hit the dog, and I didn't go through the rest of my day going, "Oh my God, I killed a dog." It does work in that situation, but I can see the pros and cons of that, definitely.
Say, there's a quick conversation on that topic for everybody.
That was fun.
We're trying to keep this down to about a 30-minute show. Also, get me back out of my hot studio, and
now we know why.
Get back to the air conditioning.
Now we know.
Yeah. Need to get some AC pumped in there.
Yeah. If your guest didn't stand us up,
we'll get him back.
Ouch.
So, is there anything else, or otherwise we're going to wrap this up? And I think we're going to hit it on time.
I'm literally sitting here looking at something that Derek wants to take a look at. I just found Zamboni Simulator 2019.
Woo. I need to know,
like the forklift simulator.
I need to know what options are standard on that Zamboni and what isn't.
What model?
I really do not want the auto braking on it, nor the adaptive cruise control. Because if that Zamboni in front of me is not going fast enough, I'm going around him. Either that, I'm pushing him off the ice.
What about blind spot detection?
One thing I've noticed about some movies lately is I can't remember what movie or what we were watching the other day. And I said, man, I got to bring that up on the podcast for Derek, because they ran over a guy on the hockey rink, and, the Zamboni, the ice and an ice.
Yeah,
was it one of the Austin Powers?
But there's so many movies that have
Was it
Zambonis
one of the
in
Austin Powers movies?
Was it? I know I've seen a movie
that.
where they do that.
Yeah, it's something she was watching the other day. And then, of course, Zambonis were used in, that's what killed Carla's ex-husband in Cheers.
Oh, my God.
The friendly Zamboni is no longer friendly.
With that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hang up my mic and get out of here for tonight.
All right, see you.
I'm out.
Stay tuned for the Zamboni Simulator 2019 No Driving Gloves live stream. Just for you, Derek.
Woo!
Night, guys.
Thank you for listening, and remember to look us up at nodrivinggloves.com. There you can find back episodes, links to products we recommend, and links to all of our social media. Be sure to tell a friend about us. No Driving Gloves is edited and produced by J. Lewis Productions.